In this final episode of our series on values, we're taking a step into the future by bringing together all the fundamental topics we've explored over the past 6 episodes. In light of globalization, the impacts of the digital age, the tension between individualism and collectivism, moral relativity, and the search for meaning, how can we create a new value system that meets the fundamental needs of modern society? In this episode, we will draw a philosophical roadmap, examining how we can redefine individual freedom, social responsibility, and ethical values in a rapidly developing world. Building new values and a philosophical roadmap for the society of the future. To overcome today's deepening crisis of values, the need to build a new value system has become more urgent than ever. To fill the void of meaning created by capitalism and modernism, to go beyond structures that define people solely through material success and consumption, will be one of the most important steps in setting a new course for humanity. This process can be made possible by revitalizing human values and strengthening social solidarity. Which values can guide the future? When considered within a philosophical framework, the values that can be foundational for the future of society can be shaped along a few main axes. Emphasis on the intrinsic value of the human being. Instead of a societal structure that values people solely based on their productivity or material success, we need to move towards an understanding that recognizes the inherent worth of every human being. Kant's statement that humans are ends in themselves, not merely means, is a fundamental principle here. Spreading the understanding that every individual is valuable simply by existing, that their dignity and rights must be protected, can make the societies of the future more just and inclusive. Solidarity and community spirit. The structure of capitalism, which glorifies individualism, has led to the weakening of social bonds and increased loneliness. In contrast, social solidarity and cooperation must become priorities in the future. Building societies that act not just for individual interests, but for the common good can revitalize the spirit of community. Aristotle's concept of the common good can be an important reference point here. The awareness that good is not just an individual goal, but a collective one, can establish societies on a more solid foundation. Sustainability and harmony with nature. Today's environmental crises demonstrate that values such as responsibility towards nature and sustainability need to be reshaped. A lifestyle in harmony with nature requires establishing a value system that respects the rights of not just future generations, but of all living things. In this context, environmental ethics and the philosophy of sustainability should be one of the cornerstones of new values. Empathy and compassion. For a more just and humane world, values such as empathy and compassion need to come to the forefront. Levinas's thought, which emphasizes the ethical relationship with the other, offers an understanding that encourages responsibility and sensitivity in relationships between individuals. Compassion should be a guiding principle not only in interpersonal relationships, but also in shaping social structures and policies. The role of philosophy in understanding and resolving the crisis of values. Philosophy serves as an important guide in understanding and resolving such crises of values that societies face. By encouraging the process of questioning and thinking, philosophy enables individuals and societies to look at themselves critically. In this sense, philosophy not only helps us understand past values, but can also guide us in constructing the values of the future. Philosophy critically analyzes existing value systems, revealing their shortcomings. By exposing the effects of capitalism on the individual, the emptiness of modern consumer culture, and the challenges in the search for meaning, it guides individuals and societies towards a more conscious search for new values. As in Nietzsche's concept of the death of God, in the face of the collapse of traditional meanings, philosophy can help individuals construct new meanings and values. As existentialist philosophy also states, individuals must take responsibility for giving meaning to their own existence. Philosophy guides individuals in this process of meaning-making, instead of directing them solely towards external achievements or material goals. It invites them to gain inner depth. Philosophy provides a foundation for societies to develop new ethical and moral systems. In an era where old values have collapsed or become dysfunctional, philosophy guides the creation of new values. This contributes to developing a more just, sustainable, and humane way of life, not just for individuals, but also at societal and global levels. Philosophy also encourages dialogue between individuals. In a globalizing world, developing mutual understanding and tolerance among different cultures and value systems can be made possible through the ethical principles offered by philosophy. Values such as justice, equality, and freedom can appeal to all of humanity thanks to the universal ethical understanding that philosophy provides. For the societies of the future to survive and for people to continue their search for meaning, the construction of new values is inevitable. These new values should be based on an understanding that recognizes the inherent worth of every human being, prioritizes social solidarity and environmental sustainability, and upholds human values such as empathy and compassion. Philosophy, with its functions like critical thinking, the search for meaning, and the redefinition of values, will be a guiding light in this process. In conclusion, humanity must learn from the experiences of the past and build a new value system. This system should be built on a foundation that considers the common good, not just of individuals, but of all societies and the world. With the depth and guidance offered by philosophy, these new values can be built, and humanity can step into a more meaningful, fairer, and more sustainable future. We have come to the end of our series. In previous episodes, we explored together how globalization, digitalization, the balance between individualism and collectivism, moral relativity, and the search for meaning have shaped our values today. Now, as we look to the future, we are on a path to building a value system that protects individual freedom without neglecting our social responsibilities, strengthens moral values, and respects cultural diversity. We hope that this journey will inspire us all towards a future where we live together with more common sense, fairness, and understanding, with the hope that humanity can build a healthier, more peaceful, and more supportive society, intertwined with universal values.